I'm so tired of these Saiyans making every battle they're in harder than it needs to be.
Is this as big as you can get?
The AAA landscape feels more and more like a facade than it should. When indie devs are pushing out better games than multi-billion and million-dollar companies, then that should paint a bad picture. With games like Pal World, Helldivers 2, Lethal Company, I am just naming the few games that have had big successes recently, and the comparison that can be said for these games is that it is made by an indie developer. These games were crafted with love and care. You can tell how much attention to detail these developers put into their games instead of monetizing the hell out of these games. Suicide Squad. Today, we are going to dive into the failing landscape of the AAA industry and look at the sunrise of indie developers. This is the Arbiter Steven, tuning in. I know, there are many YouTubers making videos on this topic, but I want to offer my 2 cents, just because I have been a gamer since the 2000s. The first game I ever played was Vice City. I was around 5 years old when I played it, and I absolutely love that game. It holds a special place in my heart for how much nostalgia I have. Then came Halo CE on PC and Halo 2 on PC. We couldn't afford an original Xbox back then, but those games hold a special place in my heart as well. This background information is important, especially considering over the last couple of years, I haven't held a game in that regard for such a long time. There are games that come close, but don't even scratch the surface or itch for me to replay it again. I would say 2013 Last of Us or 2017 Uncharted got really close. 2018 God of War as well. But these are all Sony published games. They are fun, but these indie devs are doing such wonders with the games they are creating. It's cool to see what different games can spawn out of the rooms of these devs, and I cannot wait to see what these devs can do in the future with these games. The reason why the AAA developers are failing miserably is one simple answer that everyone would want to hear. Greed. Greed is what makes the AAA landscape fail so miserably. It is really starting to show with games like Avengers, Suicide Squad, the recent disgustingly vile Skull and Bones. These are just 3 examples of recent games that are failing so poorly with sales and with critical reception. This doesn't cover the poopy trail of shitty games that have been released with this predatory monetization. There are others that use this predatory method to get kids and adults to break out their wallets and spend money on shit that doesn't matter. Even with bundles in the shop, it's starting to become more apparent that these devs have no shame with what they put out because they know it's going to make them money. Or they would rather not get out of their own way. Have you noticed an uptake in games incorporating a weird currency, God points, hex coins? Just naming off a few examples of ways these developers try to get away with monetizing a currency, or catch-up mechanics, Ubisoft. It is starting to become more apparent that these developers are no longer trying with their naming conventions. Instead of being subtle, they go full force with these practices and don't even hide their shame.
Look, now that this is settled, maybe you and Glenn can put this behind you.
No way! How am I supposed to be friends with someone who's in love with my wife? Quagmire is dead to me and needs to be dealt with in an appropriate manner. Shame. 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 Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. This was serious, but it turned into something fun.
This, though, besides that Family Guy clip, this is a sad state of affairs we live in. And hope to know that it's gonna get better. Trust me, guys and gals. Greed is also causing live service games to be more of a thing than it was in the past. Remember a time when a game used to be feature complete? I do. AC2 has so much content. COD in the past has so much content. Besides map packs, but those were justified for $15 for 4 maps plus a zombies map. Especially with the recent pricing error, $34 for one bundle is absolutely disgusting. I can name so many games that used to be feature complete. It just feels like these developers no longer have a bar or a standard to live up to, and would rather be trapped in a trend than creating new trends. Live service games are just an excuse that developers use because they are too lazy to deliver a fulfilling and satisfying game. Instead, we get shit-covered gems that shouldn't be shit-covered, and it takes many years for these games to either catch up to what they were supposed to be, or they either go in the garbage can of other games that failed to capture any hype. The reason why indie devs are blowing up right now is because their games are being developed with gamers' interest in mind. Instead of focusing on corporate greed, it becomes sad when a group of 5 to 10 developers can come up with a better and unique idea of what to do with their game.
What the? How the? A perfect circle? Do it again. Show your process.
Well, first I draw this head, then I erased some of the more detailed features, and 1, 2, 3, a circle thingy.
And you guys are going to have to be nice to these devs. I'm going to put all their games in the description below, just so everyone can go and check them out. I have absolutely fallen in love with indie developed games, and I feel these developers deserve more praise for what they are doing with making new trends instead of staying on old trends. It's absolutely despicable that a smaller team of devs can put more effort into their games than a big team of 500 to 3,000 devs. I'm looking right at you, Activision. Overall, I'm happy that indie devs do exist, because in the future I will be supporting and checking out their games more often.
Shut up and take my money!
And you'll be seeing more background footage of their games when I do these kind of videos. Generally, it becomes more interesting to look at why the AAA landscape is failing and why there's a sudden rise of indie developers. If you guys loved this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm planning to do more big video essays in the future like this. Who knows, we can go into discussion about TV series like Regular Show or go deeper at The Rise. More, it's up to you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.